Dr. Wayne Dyer, the much loved teacher, author, inspiration to so many people, was a student of the great spiritual literature of the world. He was always reading and always researching. And one of his favorite books was A Course in Miracles. And I got to hear Wayne Dyer speak over 50 times, mostly at I Can Do It conferences hosted by Hay House. Wayne Dyer would often begin the conference, often on a Friday night, and I'd always make a point of making sure I flew in that day to be able to listen to Wayne speak. It was always such a joy to listen to Wayne speak because his talks were full of the familiar and the new. There were certain messages he was happy to share with us again and again because they were so much a part of his own biography and they were so important. But also, there was also something fresh and new as well. He was always sitting right on the edge of his own learning, his own awareness, his own growth. And he was very, very keen to share what was inspiring him now. At the end of his talks, he would often finish with a quote from A Course in Miracles. And essentially the quote is, would you rather be a host to God or a hostage to the ego? And he encouraged us, all of us, to think about that very, very deeply. I thought I'd share with you the passage that this comes from in A Course in Miracles. It's in the text, and it is in chapter 11. So let's find that. Chapter 11 and section 2. Ooh, there's a lot of sections here. Bear with me. Yeah. So section 11 is called God or the Ego. Here is our basic choice. And it's from a section called The Invitation to Healing. And yeah, so this is how it goes. Would you be hostage to the ego or host to God? You will accept only whom you invite. You are free to determine who shall be your guest and how long he shall remain with you. Yet this is not real freedom, for it still depends on how you see it. The Holy Spirit is there, although he cannot help you without your invitation. And the ego is nothing, whether you invite it in or not. Real freedom depends on welcoming reality. And of your guests, only the Holy Spirit is real. Know then, who abides with you merely by recognizing what is there already, and do not be satisfied with imaginary comforters, for the comforter of God is in you. So in any situation, and particularly those situations which are challenging, that are difficult for us, we will be aware of many sets of opinions. We'll be like going through a file of facts almost in our mind. Oh, what should I do? What should I think? How should I see this? And we'll be aware of different voices, different parts speaking to us. And here we're being asked, though, to boil it all the way down to, would you like to be a hostage to the ego or a host to God? In other words, will you rely on your own psychology, which is mostly fear-based, and also offers only a partial perception of what's going on? And all perception is partial when we see through the body's eyes. Or will we be still a moment? Will we ask for a miracle? And will we connect our mind to the Comforter, with a capital C, by the way? What is the Comforter? The Comforter is one of the names that Jesus gave for the Holy Spirit in the final farewell discourses in the Gospel of John. So the Holy Spirit is the infinite intelligence of the universe. The Holy Spirit is universal inspiration. Think about it like that. Think of it as shared inspiration that is available to all of us. Actually, Wayne wrote a beautiful book on living an inspired life. Yeah. So will I go with psychology or inspiration? In other words, will I fill my mind up with sort of fearful thoughts, anxious thoughts, or will I be still, empty my mind, and allow myself to be guided, allow myself to be inspired? And so, when we do a spiritual practice in the morning, often what we're really doing is we're setting up the day so that we will be a host to God, rather than a hostage to our fearful thinking. So it's a wonderful line, isn't it? Would you be a hostage to the ego or a host to God? And it's something that we can, practice every day, just in the morning, being still, making ourselves ready, and saying, today I would like to be a host to inspiration. Today I will listen to the voice of love. Today I will allow myself to be guided by grace and inspiration and direction along the way.